Sometimes a car key looks completely normal on the outside, yet the vehicle refuses to recognize it no matter how many times you try programming it. For technicians who work with modern Volkswagen Group vehicles, that moment can be confusing at first. Everything appears correct, the remote is new, the battery is fresh, and the programmer communicates with the system, but the Immobilizer still rejects the key. What's actually happening behind the scenes is that newer VAG platforms rely heavily on very specific key identification data stored inside the chip. If that identity does not match what the vehicle expects, the system simply refuses to cooperate. Situations like this are becoming more common with newer MQB platforms, and understanding how key identity works is becoming just as important as the programming process itself. Welcome back to Baabji Motors. I'm Hussein, and in this video we're going to walk through a practical workshop solution that technicians can use when working with certain VAG MQB49 systems. Specifically, we'll look at how a Keydiy remote can be configured so that its internal key identification matches the original key used by the vehicle. This process is often needed when you want the replacement remote to behave exactly like the factory key during programming. Before we go any further, a quick reminder that everything discussed here is shared strictly for educational and informational purposes. The goal is to help technicians and learners understand the principles behind key programming and Immobilizer behavior. Always follow manufacturer procedures, comply with local regulations, and only work on vehicles you are legally authorized to service. Now here's the question I want you to think about as we go through this process. Why does matching the key identification sometimes make the difference between a key that programs successfully and one that the vehicle refuses completely? Stay with me until the end, because the answer becomes much clearer once you see how the system handles identity data. Let's start with the first step, which involves extracting information from the original key. On many MQB-based vehicles, the original factory key contains a unique identification value stored inside the transponder chip. That identification plays an important role during Immobilizer communication. To work with it, the first thing you'll need to do is carefully open the original key housing so the chip can be read properly. Once the key is accessible, place it near the induction coil of the Keydiy KD-X4 programmer. The tool will begin analyzing the transponder data and will usually display two potential key identification values. This can happen because the system detects multiple parameters associated with the chip's memory structure. To determine which ID actually belongs to the factory key, you simply position the original key over the induction coil and observe which ID is actively recognized during scanning. That value is the one we will need later when preparing the new remote. After identifying the correct key ID, the next step is preparing the replacement remote. It's important to understand that ID modification works only with compatible Keydiy remotes. Factory keys or generic transponders typically do not allow this level of editing. On the KD-X4 device, navigate through the menu and locate the service code section associated with the VAG platform you're working with. Once inside, select the appropriate service option and choose the FGB remote type. In the Keydiy ecosystem, the FGB series remotes are commonly used when creating dealer-style keys that can later be programmed into the vehicle's Immobilizer system. At this stage, the remote is essentially prepared but still carries its own default identity, which means we still need to modify the internal key ID so it mirrors a factory key. Now we move to the most critical part of the procedure, which is adjusting the identification data stored inside the new remote. From the main interface of the KD-X4, open the chip functions and choose the Automation Detection Clone option. This mode allows the device to identify and analyze the chip embedded inside the remote. Place the Keydiy FGB remote directly on the KD-X4 induction coil, so the programmer can establish a stable connection. Once the remote is positioned correctly, press the Start Identifying command. The device will scan the chip, determine its transponder type, and display the current key ID already written inside it. After the chip is identified, you'll see an option called Chip Editing. This is where the modification actually happens. The screen will display the current identification value stored inside the remote. Carefully replace that value with the key ID you extracted earlier from the original factory key. Accuracy here is extremely important. Even a small mismatch in the sequence can prevent the vehicle from accepting the key later during programming. Once the correct ID is entered, proceed with the right command so the KD-X4 can store the new identification inside the chip's memory. When the operation completes successfully, the device will display a confirmation message indicating that the data has been written to the transponder. After writing the new ID, it's always a good practice to verify the change. Perform another chip identification scan using the same induction coil. The KD-X4 should now display the updated identification number, and it should match exactly with the original key ID captured in the first step. If both numbers are identical, the remote now effectively carries the same identification signature as a factory key. At this point, the preparation stage is complete, and we can move to the final part of the process, which involves teaching a new key to the vehicle. Because the identification now matches the expected system format, the vehicle's Immobilizer has a much higher chance of accepting the new key during programming. From here, you simply follow the standard key learning procedure for the specific VAG model you're working on. Depending on the diagnostic platform being used, this could involve accessing Immobilizer adaptation functions through a diagnostic tool and adding the new key to the authorized key list stored inside the vehicle. Now, let's circle back to the question we asked earlier about why matching the key identification matters so much. The reason is that many modern Immobilizer systems rely on encrypted communication patterns tied to specific identification values. When a new key enters a system with an unexpected identity structure, the Immobilizer may reject it even if the transponder type is technically compatible. By aligning the ID with the original key, the replacement remote appears more consistent with what the system expects, making the programming process smoother in certain cases. From my personal perspective working with these systems, the biggest lesson is that modern vehicle security is becoming increasingly software-driven. 10 or 15 years ago, many key programming jobs involved simple transponder cloning or straightforward programming steps. Today, technicians often need to understand how identity structures, Immobilizer communication, and remote configurations interact together. That deeper understanding is what separates a quick solution from hours of trial and error in the workshop. I'm curious to hear your thoughts as well. Have you ever encountered a situation where a key simply refused a program until its identification data was adjusted? Share your experience in the comments, because real workshop feedback helps everyone in the community learn faster. Before we wrap up, here's a small practical tip that many technicians overlook. Whenever you're working with programmable remotes, always keep a record of the original key data before making any changes. Even a simple photo or written note of the identification value can save a lot of time if you need to revert or troubleshoot later. Thanks for spending your time here with Baabji Motors today. If this walkthrough helped clarify how the Keydiy KD-X4 can be used to align a replacement remote with a VAG MQB system, let's set a small goal for this video. Let's try to reach 1,000 likes and 100 comments. Your engagement really helps the channel grow, and it tells the platform that these deep technical topics are worth recommending to other technicians and enthusiasts. If you're not subscribed yet, consider joining the channel. Only a small percentage of viewers are actually subscribed, and subscribing makes a huge difference because it allows Baabji Motors to keep producing detailed workshop content like this. Breaking down these systems takes time, testing, and real diagnostic work behind the scenes, and your likes, shares, and subscriptions directly support that effort. And if this video helps solve a real problem in your workshop, feel free to share it with another technician who might be dealing with the same issue. Until next time, keep learning, keep sharpening your diagnostic skills, and keep pushing forward in the world of modern automotive technology.